Hi, Accounting 101. We're the Fantastic Feelers. I'm Ethan Gomez.
I'm Cami Sorrells.
I'm Eric Torres.
I'm Lexi Knox.
Yeah!
Woo! Lululemon is a Canadian brand that makes athletic clothes for men and women. It offers a wide variety of apparel, including pants, tops, shorts, jackets, and accessories. Lululemon operates 426 stores in America, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the UK, and Singapore. We're comparing Lululemon to Champion, which is an American manufacturer of sports clothing and a subsidiary of Hanes Brands. The company is well known for sweatshirts, t-shirts, and athletic socks. Some competitors of Champion include Columbia Sportswear, Ashworth, Nike, Adidas, and Reebok.
So where are all these people, huh? What kid's next? Bree and Cammy? Bree and Cammy.
The current ratio for 2019 for Lululemon is 2.861, which is a pretty high ratio, and it's a little bit higher than the desired 2-to-1 ratio. Lululemon may be more capable of paying its obligations because it has such a high current ratio. However, it may also indicate that it's not utilizing its current assets adequately. On the other hand, its competitor Champion has a modest ratio of 1.73 to 1 in 2019, which is just below the standard 2-to-1 ratio. This company's ratio indicates that it has capital on hand to meet its short-term obligations, so Champion may be the more stable company regarding its liquidity since their ratio is relatively closer to the desired 2-to-1 ratio. Lululemon's asset test ratio is 8.3 to 1, which indicates that it has enough liquid assets to pay its current liabilities. A very high ratio is not always a good sign and could imply that cash has accrued and is idle instead of being used productively. Champion's asset test ratio is 0.64 to 1, which is relatively low, and this ratio could indicate that the company does not have liquid assets to compensate for their current liabilities.
Okay, you can leave now. Thanks, Cammy. Okay, Ethan, bring that Ethan kid in. Listen up, guys. Here we go. So AR turnover right here. Lululemon, it's 119.66, and then it's 186.74 for the prior year, and that's the current year. And then you got Champion right here with 34.54 for the current year. But guess what? Lululemon right here, they're messing up. Because look at this number. It's so large. It's because accounts receivable is just so low. And then Champion, I guess they got it better. But it's supposed to still be a smaller number, but who cares? Anyway, you got inventory turnover right here. Lululemon, man, they really did better from the previous year to the current year. Because 1.9 to 3.9, that means they're making money. But Champion, 2.11, they could be doing better. But Lululemon gets my stamp of approval. Then we go down here to debt to assets ratio. And this is where Lululemon really kicks it in. Because you got 20.09% for the current year, then the prior year was 17.95%. They got a little dip, in the debt, but they're still under control. But Champion, 86.63%. That's just bad. Thank you very much, investors. Thank you. Wow, Ethan, that was great, kid. Okay, now bring in that Eric kid.
So now we're going to look at profitability with our two companies. The profit margin for Lululemon in its current year is 16.37%, which is a huge leap from its previous year of 11.3%. Champion, however, in its current year reported an 8.13%, which in profitability terms is smaller, but it would make sense because it is a smaller company than Lululemon. Asset turnover, Lululemon in its current year is a 1.45, compared to its previous year of a 1.58, so it stayed pretty consistent. Champion in its current year has a 0.96. Gross profit rate for Lululemon in its current year is a 55.24%, compared to its previous year, which is a 52.8, so they had a small increase. Champion brand has a 39.4% in its current year. Return on assets. Lululemon had a 7.6% in its current year, which is a huge leap from its previous year of a 0.98, and that is due to its big leap in net income, probably from popularity. Champion brand had a current year percent of 23.2%, and that is because it reported a much smaller net income and a much smaller amount of assets compared to Lululemon. So overall, coming from an investor's perspective, it would make more sense to bank on Lululemon. However, you still do find profitability within Champion, even though it is a smaller company.
You know what, Eric, that was really good. And I really like your glasses. Okay, but you can leave now. Okay, what was the next kid? Lexi? Okay, get her in here. Okay?
So, according to our calculations today in the spreadsheet, overall profitability of Lululemon is shown at a steady rate for both current and prior years. The gross profit ratio of Lululemon tells us that Lululemon is exceptional at creating its products and providing its service compared to competitors such as Champion, who has a lower ratio. Lululemon's asset turnover indicates that it efficiently generates revenue by using its assets in comparison to Champion, who is not as efficient. Earnings per share ratio shows how much money a company makes for each share of stock, which shows Lululemon pulling ahead stronger numbers both years compared to Champion. Profit margin, again in favor for Lululemon, represents the percentage of sales converted into profits. Lululemon seems to have a higher current ratio of both the current and prior years. These numbers are very high, as an acceptable current ratio generally falls between 1.5 and 3% for a healthy business. The ratio range indicates strong short-term financial strength. In terms of debt to assets, Lululemon is a much healthier position, as the company has enough funds to meet its current debt obligations and pay a return on their investment. It appears that Champion has a much higher risk to meet its ongoing obligations than Lululemon does. Clearly, sir, Lululemon is the move.
Wow, Lululemon is the move.